Hello, my name is Badell, and my proposal for the Commerce Committee um, for them to allocate the resources for the coming 3 years will be for the NIDA, which is the National Institute on Drug Abuse. As we may know, in our community here in College Station, drugs are one of the principal causes of disabilities, malfunctions, and death in young people, especially in college students. So the reason for why we should choose, or the committee should elect this specific organization, is because the biggest part of our community is formed by college students, and as we know that college students are the principal users of drugs, and here in our community we observe all the time, like for many years, that our community is dying from drug abuse, and a lot of drugs are trafficking in our streets. So secondly, we have to mention that this organization will have a huge impact in our community, since most of the population, most of the population here in our community are college students, and the work that this organization have, and the jobs the illness that they take care of are could be protected here in our society. So furthermore, I have to mention that allocating the resources to this committee, allocating the resources to this organization will lead us into a brighter future without drugs, and protecting our college students, which are now preparing for the future of our nation. As I have to mention a quote from Lori Wiley, which is a woman who suffered from this illness, and she was treated by this organization. I quote, "Before I was clean, I was so uncertain of myself, and I was always depressed about things. Now I am confident in life. I speak my opinion, and I am protective. I cry tears of joy, not tears of sadness." Those words really touch our hearts, and hopefully those words will touch the committee's hearts as well, and because this is a problem that has been impacting in our community, and there's no other bigger opportunity to help our college students that are dying from this illness, from abuses of alcohol, drugs, all type of drugs here in our community. As the drug abuse has taken so many victims in our community, I have to cite a famous quote from Chris Prentice, who was a drug abuser a long time ago, and was treated by the organization as well. And I quote, "At the bottom of every person's dependency, there is always pain. Discovering the pain and healing it is an essential step in any dependency." So many of our society might not realize in what they are getting into, because they're pretty young of age. So, but in the future, that these young people, which will be the future of our nation, of America, are going to suffer what they're from what their decisions are taking in this moment. So I believe it's our responsibility to prevent them and to save them from their own mistakes. And to conclude, I have to say, and I'll have to remark that the committee should choose, without any doubt, this organization to because the NIDA is taking responsibility and is they care about the well-being and the future of our community and the young people, which are the most damaged by drugs abuse. And to finish, to end my presentation, I will call Phil Volatile, who was one of the creators of this organization, who was himself in drugs abuse as well. So I quote, "Now I'm sober and I realize I didn't drink to escape the world. I drank to escape myself." So there's a future which is bright for our community, and it's our job to save. Thank you.
Voten por Andrés.